There is a kind of Christianity that actually scares people away, that has no real life in it. The early church had no such reference of Christianity. They were living the genuine, irresistible life of Christ. And I want us today to explore what that looks like. So one of the most popular videos on YouTube today is the unboxing videos of new toys, new gadgets, new shoes. And I mean, I'm really irritated by that in our household at the moment as my kids watch other kids take out new toys and play with them. I mean, but something in us just loves the new. We want to get rid of the old and we want new things. But what about your life? You find yourself in a society or in the environment around you which is maybe stuck in certain issues. Or what about you personally? You get stuck in the deadness of life. But the amazing truth about the gospel of Jesus is this, that he came to make all things new, to take the broken, the old, and transform it into something brand new. And the power with which that happens is called love. The church is first and foremost called to love, to bring this newness of life in our society with the love of Christ. Just listen to 1 John 4 verse 7 to 10, where John actually explains this essence of the gospel of love. He says, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love. Not that we love God, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sin." Well, if this is the truth, people should flock to the church. But actually the opposite is true. There is a kind of Christianity that almost looks like a scarecrow or a straw man. It's not real. It has the attributes of the human form, but as you look at it, you know definitely that it's dead and it's not real. There is actually a kind of Christianity that drives people away, that scares people. And what we want to explore today is that the original idea with church and the gospel in church was that it was supposed to be this love community, the irresistible church of God. And how we're going to explore that is in three quick things today. That Jesus came to start a new movement by the new covenant, and he gave us a new commandment. You see, let's quickly look at the new movement. When the Holy Spirit came upon that 120 people at Pentecost, the church was born. And it was specifically born to be this irresistible community, inviting outsiders into that community of faith. It grew rapidly. It was attractive. People flocked to that specific community because of the love of that community. Was it necessarily its message that was so compelling or so attractive? No, it was the presence of the person of Christ that was so irresistible. You see, Jesus is a person that liked people that did not like him. He is a person that was liked by people that was not like him. And that was the essence of the early church. The culture of the church was the incredible, reckless love of God for humanity. How's that possible? How is that possible that God would, pour out this kind of quality of love in the community? It was because of the new covenant. What is the difference between a contract and a covenant? It's the following. A contract two parties would actually sign something that would say something like this: I will be who I promise to be in this relationship if you stay true to who you promise to be in this relationship. However, the moment you deviate from the commitment in this relationship, the contract is violated and the relationship is over. We sign contracts in business, in marriage. That's what a contract looks like. But Jesus came to introduce a new covenant. What is a covenant? A covenant is the following: I will be who I promise to be in this relationship, even if you don't stay true to what you promised to be in this relationship. That is the new covenant that Jesus introduced, the covenant of love. And it's actually difficult for us to grasp. You know, it sounds like there's a catch. It sounds like a telemarketer. There's always big promise, under deliver. It sounds like the new covenant is something like that, but the only reason we think that way is because we grew up with this straw man or scarecrow kind of Christianity. It's a Christianity that says your good behavior will qualify you to experience God's love. You have to earn His love. And the new covenant says, no, God takes responsibility for this relationship. So in the context of this new covenant, Jesus came and He gave us a new commandment. What was the old commandment? There was some of the Pharisees that asked Him, Lord, in Luke chapter 10, they asked Him, what is written in the law, Lord? And He replied, how do you read it? And He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind. Sometimes we thought that was maybe the new commandment that Jesus gave. No, that was a summary of the old commandment, or the 10 commandments, or the Torah and the laws. And He says, and love your neighbor as yourself. That was the old commandment. What is the new commandment that Jesus gave? John chapter 13, verse 34 to 35, He says, a new commandment I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. What changed? The first thing that changed was the focus of love. You see, the old commandment, we had to love the Lord. The new commandment, we have to love one another because we have received that love first. Second thing that changed was the standard of love. Old commandment, you should love others as you love yourself. New commandment, you should love one another as Jesus have loved you. The kind of love that you have received, that kind of love is now the way that you love others. And the last thing that changed was the source of love. Old commandment, from your heart, your soul, your strength, your mind. New commandment, Jesus is now the source of this kind and quality and quantity of love that He wants to pour out in our hearts, in the new covenant, in the new community of faith, so that we can give that to the rest of the world. If you enjoyed today's video, you are welcome to subscribe to our channel to receive more of these videos.